Welcome to this programming tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how selection statements work in Small Basic. A selection statement lets you go different paths in your programming. Let's get started by creating a variable. If you remember, creating a variable is quite easy. We type in a name, let's call this x, we type in an equal sign, and then we give it data. In this case, I'll give it the data 50. Now what we're going to do is we're going to check if x is equal to 50, if it's greater than 50, or if it's less than 50. So to do this, we're going to use an if statement. If you want to create an if statement, you start with if, and then you have a condition that's either true or false. In this case, I want to check if x is equal to 50. And then I'm going to put then after it. So here I'm saying, if x is equal to 50, then we're going to do something inside here. Now what are we going to do? We're just going to output text window dot writeLine x is equal to 50. Nice and simple. Next, we're also going to check what happens if x is greater than 50. To do this, I could start with another if statement, or I could join it by using else if. Else if x is greater than 50, then text window dot writeLine x is greater than 50. I can have as many else ifs as I want. Let's put another one to check if it's less than 50. Else if x is less than 50, then text window dot writeLine x is less than 50. Now what happens if for some reason I get another weird message, or something weird is stored in this variable? I can use a bucket catch, in other words a bucket at the bottom that catches every other possible answer, by writing else. Else doesn't have a condition on it because it is for anything else that gets past it. So if something gets past all of these three, it'll activate else. Let's do else text window dot writeLine I don't know what you entered. To finish an if statement block, in other words, to finish one of these if statements, we need to write end if at the bottom. There we go. Now we've got a condition to check which way we want to go with our program. In this case, x is equal to 50, so we should get this in our output because x is equal to 50. Let's run this program. There we go. X is equal to 50. Let's now write the same thing, but I'm going to change 50 to 40. Now we should activate this condition, which means we should output x is less than 50. Let's click on run. There we go. X is less than 50. You can write as many if statements as you want. For example, I can write another one down here. And you can have as many of these as you want. One thing you have to remember is that an if statement block, which is one of these, or one of these, always starts with if. You have to have if at the start. Else if and else are optional. You don't need to have else if, and you also don't need to have else. If you wanted to, you could just stick with an if and an else statement. Or you could stick with an if and an else statement but not have an else statement. The else if statements, you can have as many as you want. You can have an infinite amount of else ifs as long as they are underneath the if statement. You can only have one if statement per if block, and you can only have one else statement per if block. The else statement always goes at the bottom of your if block. But again, you don't have to have it. Now let's see how we can use our relational operators. These are the signs that we use to check if it's greater than or less than or equal to. There's many operators we can use. You have equals to, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and you also have not equal to, which sometimes is written like this and is sometimes written like this. It's a bit weird when you write not equal to. Let's now look how we can do or use our if statement to create a quiz. To create a quiz, let's start by asking a question. What animal is orange? I'm then going to store user input inside of an answer variable. And then we're going to check what the answer is. If the answer is equal to fox, then we're going to say that they're correct. Else, if it's any other answer, we're going to write that they're not correct. And then we're going to close our if statement at the bottom. Always remember to write the end if at the bottom or your program won't work properly. Now, let's check this program works. I'm asking what the animal is orange. I'm taking the user input and storing it in a variable. I am then checking to see what it is and then outputting whether it's correct or incorrect. Let's see. If I write in fox, I get correct. If I write in fox with a lowercase f instead of an uppercase f, I get incorrect. So you can see I have to be very specific about what I write. I could fix that by writing else if answer is equal to fox, then we'll output correct. Now, if I write fox with a lowercase f, it'll still be correct. Now, what if I wanted to ask another question if you got it right? Let's get rid of the second else if. I can copy and paste my question and answer and put them inside of my if statement where I got the answer correct. Let's ask another question. Let's say, what animal is the best? And I'm going to ask them again, what animal is the best? Then I'm going to create another if statement inside. I'll write if answer is equal to fox again, then text window dot writeLine correct, else text window dot writeLine incorrect. Remember, we've got an error here because I haven't written endif at the bottom. You always have to have an endif at the end of your if block. Notice as well that this if block is inside of this if block. When an if block is inside another one, it's known as a nested selection because we are nesting this block inside of this block. It also means that this block won't work unless they get the answer, the first answer that is, right. Let's see if we can get this correct. What animal is orange? Fox. And then it asks me what animal is the best. I'll write fox again. There we go. This is how selection statements work. You can have as many if blocks inside of other if blocks as you want, and you can keep going. I can copy all of this and put it inside the correct answer over here. And I can keep asking more and more questions, though you must be careful because you must see that it is getting quite complicated. Mess about with this and see if you can create a fun quiz for your friends to complete. Thank you for watching the tutorial. I hope you have found it helpful.